person they are going to
No,
be.
definitely you understand the person you're
For me, I
with.
feel like you cannot.
You
really
cannot
understand.
finish. No, you cannot finish.
You know, some guys will tell you like, yes, I love you. You want to walk? No problem, my love. You will walk.
You know, the kind of mouth they use in striking you is not the same mouth they use.
So
in
what do you do
relationship.
now? Because you're not single, and then the guy is saying, my baby, you want to walk? Walk anywhere. You want to even go around the world.
I will allow you to jump, and when you get married, he has gotten you. I think that
Hey guys, so we're talking about my man wants me to change my self-identity crisis. So what is identity crisis?
okay, identity crisis is kind of a stage or an event or a period in a person's life where the person begins to question certain things about himself. You get confused about, who am I? Like, what do I represent? What are my beliefs? What are my values? You start questioning your sense of self at that moment. You start questioning. You have many questions about who you are, and those things start affecting you. It start affecting your growth. It start affecting how you pursue everything generally. Once your sense of self is tampered with, once it is touched, like it starts affecting you, affecting your growth, affecting your life, affecting everything you do.
Yeah.
That's identity crisis.
I think the main thing about identity crisis, we might say, is the fact that you've already built like a notion on what you want your life to be.
Your identity has been formed.
Exactly. You already know where you're going to, what you want to achieve and all that, and then all of a sudden something comes in and is trying to
change it,
cause a shift. So that's what we're talking about today. If you have such a situation, or you feel like you know somebody who is experiencing something like this, please do well to share this video with that person, or you yourself watch this video and follow through and just try to understand if you can pick a thing or two that might apply to your situation. So how does identity crisis connect with relationships?
Okay, first off, identity crisis connects with your identity. Is not just one aspect of your life. Your identity cuts across your relationships, your experience. A lot of things come together to shape the person that you are. So connecting identity crisis to relationships, how your relationships per se can affect your identity to bring you to that point where
you're like,
you don't know who you are anymore.
Who am I?
Yes, who am I? Start asking that question. Who am I? What am I here to do? Yes. I personally have had a first-hand experience, not in relationships, but I've had a first-hand experience about identity crisis. So I know it's a very delicate topic. Like, you can be in a limbo for a particular period of time. I've questioned my belief, I've questioned my purpose, I've questioned a lot of things. If you follow me on my channel, you know that I've talked about having a road traffic accident that left me physically challenged. So I've talked about it, and after that, the first thing after an accident is, thank God I survived.
Then after that,
but then reality sets in. And if you had long term, if you had something that affected you long term, especially affecting your physical self, you start questioning a lot of things. So I've passed through that phase where I questioned my life. So I know that when it comes to relationships, identity crisis, it can come in. So I think we'll bring it down to our African setting.
Yes, very important.
Just bring it down to our African setting.
Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, guys, please tell us in the comment section, has there ever been a time where you felt like you don't know yourself anymore, you don't know how to move on with life, you don't know what to do next, just let us know in the comment section. If you were able to handle it, let us know how you were able to handle it. If you are not able to handle it, please let us know what made you not to be able to handle it. Just let us know in the comment section what you think, right?
Yes, let us know. Share your experience. Share everything with us.
So let's look at the African setting, like you said, because now we know that in Nigeria or in Africa generally, men have some men, or most, should we say most men?
Most men, most men really. Guys, wow. If you're a man and you say no, she's not talking about me, we need to know. Still comment and say no, this is not me, this is not me, I'm a liberated man. Just
a liberated man. Okay, you know, in Africa we have, like, most of our men have like a mindset. They have a way they believe that their life should go, their women should be, things should take place, you know. So that is where we are coming to. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay.
How does this apply to relationship crisis, identity crisis?
Two people are growing up, a man and a woman. They are growing up. If you grew up in the kind of home I grew up in, while growing up, my mom, she's a very, very good and exceptional mom. My mom is the African woman.
African woman.
What do you think about the African woman? My dad, the traditional, okay, let me say the traditional woman.
I think most women, like most of the older
generation
women,
yes, they are the African women.
So we are not African women. Okay.
My dad, definitely, you know, as a girl, I think most girls are shaped by their dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's why when I talk to men, I'm like, what you're doing is affecting your daughter. Whether you like it or not, the choices she makes in life primarily are from what she saw with the dad.
Yes.
That's why you hear people talking about, you know, a girl needing her daddy, and when the daddy is absent, you see her, she has those detachment and attachment issues.
She's looking for father figures in every
yes,
man.
In every man. That is it. So my dad kind of shaped the kind of woman I am, and I grew up with my dad telling me to reach for the skies. Go up there, and I grew up with my dad telling me Dora Kunyeli, Okojo Iwala.
Yes.
I like it. That's the kind of dad I grew up with. So
he sort of formed your personality.
Yes, he formed my personality a lot, and I just knew that there's a kind of life that is not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me.
What kind of life is that? The kind of life where you're not achieving anything?
Yes, that kind of life is definitely not mine.
Okay.
So, now, if a woman then finds herself in a relationship, and remember that in this part of the world, the girl, have you ever heard the phrase "one year went to church"? Have you heard it?
I've heard it too.
Have you heard the phrase "one year went to church"?
One of my uncles said it to me.
Yeah, that's how women are seen and regarded. Like her place is with her man.
Why you alpha too?
Yes, why you want alpha? So her identity. Remember that the first thing about your identity is your name.
Yes.
So the
woman, you're right.
Yes, the first thing about your identity is your name. Your name shapes you too. I've had situations where I had to look at, my name is Uchechi, the will of God. I've had situations where I've had to ask my mom, is there anything that informed your decision about naming me? She said no, my dad came up with the name and she went along with it. So no particular event, but I just find out that this name is following me.
Yes.
So the first thing about your identity is your name. So in this part of the world, she doesn't have a name, she doesn't have a church, and she doesn't have a home. But she goes to the man's home.
But do you know that in reality, right? We cannot if because you're now making serious points. I'm really thinking deeply. If we're to look at this identity crisis, then can we really say that the African woman goes through identity crisis? Because it's like we are literally prepared from childhood to like know that when you get married, a lot of things in your life is going to change. Your name is going to change. Your church is going to change. What you eat is going to change. But if you're coming from one tribe and going to another tribe, like literally, your house is going to change. In fact, everything about you
is going to change.
So can we really say that an African woman goes through identity crisis? Because you're literally prepared all through your life to know that one day I will change. I will have to change certain things.
Yeah. Okay. I think it then borders on how she perceives life. It borders on perception. So if you, why I have to mention how I was raised is to say that I really, yes, I was raised to be obedient and all that, but I wasn't really raised. I wasn't really raised to be obedient. My mom did a good job. She did, but I found myself as a growing child always rebelling against the kind of mom my mom wanted, kind of person my mom wanted me to be. My mom usually went with the phrase, "A woman is supposed to be seen and not heard." So that's my mom. Like, as a woman now, if you grew up in Africa, you will not talk too much. Mommy, I talk too much. So
but then I think maybe in some other video we might have to really talk more about like what our parents tried to teach us about marriage and lifestyle of the woman and the realities of it today. You know why I'm saying this? Because you know that the men of nowadays want to hear us. If you keep quiet for your husband, he will ask you. If you talk to me now, tell me what you think. So I think
and the woman really, even men are going through identity crisis.
Okay.
Even men, it's not just about the women now. There's that transitioning from what it used to be.
Exactly.
The present day man is
present day everything. Present day
marriage.
Present day man, present day woman, present day lifestyle.
Yes. Choices. Things are changing, and those things you can start questioning your purpose. You can start questioning many things about you. So when you bring identity crisis into relationship, as regards the woman now, you start when she was prepared to be that kind of woman, did she accept it in totality?
To be what kind of woman? Do you mean like before she? Are you talking about the married woman, or are you talking about
the married woman? Even in relationships.
Okay,
relationships generally, but what I'm particular about marriage is that a relationship you feel pot any day. Like
so
you can pot. I'm not saying that in marriage you must die there, but you know, long term you think really before you weigh a lot of things,
involve a lot of people.
Yes, before you decide to part ways. So I don't really, in relationship it happens. Okay, I don't know, years ago, Tokimakiwa, I don't know if you can remember her book, but in that book you could see her when she was dating this guy who liked fair women. She had to bleach her skin to be a fair woman. You understand? Yeah, she talked about it.
I need to read that book.
So, as a woman, as a man, today we're going to focus mainly on how identity crisis affects women in years. Okay, so let me not talk about name, because that one I changed my name. Jamaza is not my father's name.
I just changed my middle name. You guys can look for that video. I changed my middle name.
So that one is different. Why I say it's different, although even changing the name, let me tell you, the stress of changing your name.
That's a whole topic.
That one
like
is a whole topic.
I'm still
like
struggling.
You are confused when they ask you your state of origin, your village of origin. You don't even know what. Okay, when I went to do my name, in the name, the guy asked me my place of origin. The guy that was taking me. When he asked me, I told him I'm from Umbise, but I married in Owerri, and he's like, which means your place of origin is Umbise. So that guy recognized
from Umbise.
Yes. He recognized my place of origin as Umbise
because that's where you're from.
When I went to do, which one did I go to do again?
Another document.
They said it. And when I went to do affidavits, is an affidavit for change of name. When they were taking document, that person said your place of origin is
now your husband's place.
Where am I from?
So you see, identity crisis really goes so deep, especially for women that are going into marriage. But even if you're in a relationship and you're going through identity crisis, I believe that it might apply, but the difference is that the relationship person will easily be able to opt out.
Yes.
So tell us what you think. Do you think identity crisis, do you think it's enough reason for people to walk away from relationships?
Like I said, it depends on how deep it cuts.
Okay.
At that time, at that time, it's a stage of confusion until you find clarity. You cannot. It's not advisable to really make a permanent decision. So how deep it cuts mean? Okay, now you were working. Let's say you were working. You went to nursery, primary, secondary school, went to university, you have a career in mind and you have goals. Every human being is supposed to have, you know where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time. And you now marry this man and he says you're going to be a housewife.
Somebody.
And the person decides that you have to stay home.
Yeah.
And you forget to
talk about blue therapy. Yeah. Because we were just watching blue therapy and we saw something like that.
Yes, Paul and Shoma. And Shoma being the career woman, Instagram influencer. And all of a sudden the boyfriend now says he wants her to be the traditional woman that stays at home. And there are some women who will bend into it. When you bend into it and in 10 years time you look at yourself, or if you've been working out, good for you. If you've not been working out, you just look at your fat self. At that point you're not in shape. If you just look at yourself and if you even stumble across an old friend who you talked about your goals together with and you're like, what am I doing here?
But then, you know what I think? I think that goals change. I have even set goals for myself as an individual that eventually I didn't end up doing them. People even heard like, I want to do so. I've talked about it multiple times.
Yeah.
People knew that I was going towards that path. But some things happened in my life that are not even relationship related. That someone made me to decide that, okay, I don't want to go through this journey again. Let me just take a very practical example. Like me personally in my life, I have always wanted to be the kind of person that wants to grow in my career. Like I want to, every 2 or 3 years, I want to resign and move to another organization so that I can be able to have a higher pay, higher position. Now, being that kind of person who has always been that career driven, now I'm not at a stage in my life where I am no more interested in that. I'm not interested in, I want to have all my kids, know that I have my kids. I'd rather just stay in the position I'm in, where I know that I am sort of safe, I am okay, I can go to my work, come back, take care of my kids. It fits my maternity life, my motherhood life, my family life. It's perfect for me at this point. I don't want to be over ambitious right now. My ambition now is to have my kids. I know that I am done with my kids. Now, my husband did not have any influence on that decision. If I even want to do some things in my career and I want to take a step back, he's the one even saying, no, you should go for it. And I'm the one like, I still have this kids to have, I have things to do. So in this case now, there's an identity shift, which is not even relationship related. It is me who made the decision that I want to change that thing. So now I'm thinking, why would I want to now leave a relationship that is working sort of well because the guy insists that I should leave certain things? I'm just thinking like,
yeah. So okay, this what you're talking about comes from people change. People really change. What you want can change. Your dreams can change. Your goals can change. At a point in my life as a young woman growing, I didn't want to be a married woman.
Me too.
Yeah. At a point I just wanted to.
Me too.
After a while, I would just have a kid. I could adopt. I'll be because of faith, artificial insemination, you know, those options. Like the other day, I stumbled on a book I wrote as a child. I was writing, like, I scribbled down some things. And I saw, like, in that book, Uchechi was not thinking of getting married. Like, she said she's going to be a single mom. So what changed? People could change, really. You could change. But the difference here is that it's voluntary. It comes from you. It comes from you thinking about the choices you've made and rethinking about those choices. And remember that as marriage is permanent and you having one person wanting to decide and keep deciding, you self go confused. Remember that as you are changing, he is changing. So when that man who loved, let's say he loved you on low cuts. Let me just use that as an ephemeral thing, but it's a good example. And he loved you on low cuts, and you get married because you had your hair all long and full, and because he stopped liking. He loved your low cuts. You went on low cuts. He stopped liking low cuts.
You changed.
You grew your hair, and after 2 years, he has changed. He's changing. He wants low cut again, huh? Isn't that work?
Exactly.
You keep trying to keep. So when you're changing voluntarily out of your own choices, it's different. And now when you talk about this, might not sound well to a lot of people. Personally, a man and a woman definitely are supposed to go to the same church. But when you now talk about spirituality, because spirituality is a part of identity crisis.
Yes,
you grew up having this belief. It's your belief. You believe in it strongly. You so much believe in it. You have had personal convictions, and you're getting married. And tell you a woman doesn't have a church, you move to the man's church. What if along the line that man now decides that that's not where he has faith in?
He wants to move to another church.
You are moving into an entirely different denomination now too. You know, that keeps your beliefs keep
changing.
When you get to that next denomination, they are telling you all that you believed 2 years ago, they are nothing, and all that you believed years before you got married are nothing. You keep getting that confusion. Then it's important to keep. Yeah, you can change certain things, but that fundamental of who you are as a person. Yes.
Okay, so I think we're slowly moving into the solution part, because we've talked about what identity crisis is. We've talked about how it applies in African homes and family. Now we're slowly going into the solution aspect, which I know many of you might be interested in. So please comment down below, like I said earlier, what you think the solution might be. What do you think about what we've said so far? What are your perspectives about African relationships? Like, how do you handle things like this? How do you handle when your identity is being tampered? What do you really think? Do you think it's really a big problem, or it's something that has a solution, which we are slowly getting into now? Because you mentioned something very interesting. You said something about a woman still maintaining her sort of individuality.
Yeah.
That's what you mentioned, right? I'm also thinking about something you said earlier, which was the idea of perspective. Now, I understand that people have different perspectives to life. People have what is important to them. So I think it boils down to what is important to you as an individual. What is a priority to you? And also, for me, I'm thinking of manner of approach. Like you said the man is repeatedly trying to shape you into who he has an idea of, what he feels in his mind,
and he has ever-changing idea. Because if he's a human being, you can see there's somebody that you see that you can like flat bum and flat boobs, but the day that you see big bum, the big bum will enter your eye, and you come back home and say, no, this flat bum, she will go and put Botox and put silicone, and it becomes big, and you see one slim beautiful person, and you return, you say you go and remove it.
Do you think communication can be a good solution to this?
Yes.
So it starts with communication.
Yeah, it starts with communication. It starts with mindset.
understanding the mindset of your partner and also your own mindset, and you guys finding a way to see what's the middle ground. What is, for me, I'm an advocate of peace. What is it? Where can we meet? How do we solve this problem? This is the problem, right? How do we solve it? If there is no solution to it, then why are we arguing about it? Then that means it's not a solvable problem. Let's move on to other things.
So the first point, if you're single, you're lucky. If you're single, you're lucky.
Yes.
So because at that time you have every opportunity to make all the keep on saving.
And by single, she doesn't mean that, because me, I thought she meant in a relationship. She means like
no,
you are single,
you're married to get married. I count single so lucky. You have choose. Oh, let me tell you, choose. That was my gospel. That is my gospel. My gospel is keep separating the wheat from the chaff. It's very important. So it is at that
so
point,
many things to
90% of your war room prayer points are solved when you make the right choice.
But what of the part where, do you know there are cases where people have had, I understand what you're saying about it. We'll still enter another topic. There are so many, like this topic is entering into other topics. I don't even know, like I just feel like we can be talking from today till tomorrow and we'll not end this conversation, but like it streams down, it goes very, very deep. We're just trying to even talk about this subject. So if you guys still want us to talk more
there are things you want
about it,
just
let us
list the issues and we'll just dissect
them as much as you want to share. Just we are here for you people. We are here. Just tell us we are here. So at the point of being single, you guys are like trying to communicate. You mentioned that at the point of being single, you have the time to be able to rectify a lot of things.
The most important thing is making your choice.
But you make your choice on the basis of what?
Make your choice on the basis of, aside everything you want as a person, what do you want in a partner?
Are you saying making your choice based on what you are seeing, what the person is saying?
Don't die on top of one person.
Okay, she's saying like have options.
Okay, no, not exactly that way.
Okay.
What I'm saying here is this, in this part of the world, I don't know how they do it outside though, I'm in Nigeria.
Yes.
In this part of the world, you see a woman, when we're going into another topic, when she starts dating this guy, she says it must end in marriage. And Uchechi is here telling you that it must not end with that man. Be willing to enter the next bus if that bus is not going your destination.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying.
That's why I said if you're single, you're lucky.
I was thinking you were saying like if somebody is preparing to get married, the person should like try to understand the person they are going to.
No, definitely you understand the person you're
going to. I feel like you cannot
finish. Yeah. No, you cannot finish.
These are some guys who tell you like, yes, I love you. You want to walk? No problem, my love. You will walk. The
kind of mouth they use in chiking you is not the same mouth they use.
So what do you do now? Because you're not single and then the guy is saying, my baby, you want to walk?
I will allow you
walk anywhere. You want to even go around the world.
I will allow you to jump. And when you get married, he has gotten you. I think the first part of this is look out for the core values. The core values of the person you're in a relationship with.
Exactly.
When you watch out for the core values, you can, aside talking about and saying what are your core values, you can see the person's core values playing out in every area of the person's life. If he is a business person, those core values of integrity, that's the first thing. Integrity matters a lot. Him having a word and standing by that word. You look out, is his integrity playing out in his work and business? Is his integrity playing out in his relationship with others? That those people are not you. Don't think that if he's lying to other people, he will come and be truthful to you. No. Do you get those? The first thing you should look out for is the core values of that person. So as much as you're single, you get it right at that single stage.
Yeah.
And then if you're married, yes, there is compromise. We all know that, but never compromise to the extent of losing yourself. Never compromise to the extent. Don't keep bending over. Don't keep bending over. Don't keep bending over. From time to time, you guys need to also sit down and talk.
Yes.
Communication is key. And also have family goals. You and your partner, yes, you guys should have a family goals, and all your dialogue should have that family goal in the picture. You should keep looking at it and say, this is our destination. So you know the things that you compromise to benefit your family goal, and also choose your battles.
Choose your battles. Like, in fact, this is the height of
choose your battles. See, I fought a lot of battles. This is my 5th year. I fought a lot of. I'm still young in the marriage stage. I fought a lot of battles.
You're girlfriend. You like us are still trying to reach 2 years.
I fought a lot of battles that I didn't need to fight. And remember that they
got the word. It's true.
I didn't need it. And there are some battles that are for you, and there are some battles that are for God. There are some battles you need to win with your mouth. There are some battles you need to win on your knees, and there are things that just iron themselves.
Allow time.
Yes, there are some battles. Yes, time is of the essence. So have the picture of know who you are and keep on knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Make sure that your partner is on that page, and how you present issues matters.
Yeah.
I usually
communication skills.
Yes, I said that you should have the family picture in mind. There's this trick that always works.
Wow.
You can call it a trick, I don't know. There's something that always works when it comes to communication with your partner. You make it about him.
Are you serious?
Yes, make it about him in the sense that when you want to talk about that thing, praise him in the light of it should be how that thing, how that thing will be so good for him. It's about him. Which instance will I use now? Okay, the time I told someone about this, I think the person was having an issue with her brother-in-law wants to come over, and she won't have the time for the woman. This is not identity crisis, but I'm using it as an example. She's not going to have the time because of her work. There was no person, and she didn't want that. Not because she hated the woman. So she wanted to start fighting. Like, no, it's who I said that. I said that's not the way. Oh, your head go lock. Oh, that's not the way. How you will do it is tell him how much you love the mom, and say, baby, I want your mom to get the best of attention, the best of time. No, and you know that when I will not be around, mama will not find it easy. Oh. Mama will suffer. Hey, it's not good. I wish I could take some time off work. Maybe the first day you could say, let you go and check if you could take some time off. And you can come back and tell him it didn't work out taking your time off. But you think if we could get a help to stay with mama while I go to work, I think it would be more beneficial. You see, you're putting it in the light of him, like this is going to be better for your mother.
There are some battles you fight that just not even.
How is it going to be beneficial for him? So when I say put him in the light, put him in it, is make sure you paint how it's going to be beneficial for him, and not how it's going to be beneficial for you in some things. I think from this instance, the things I'm talking about.
Yes.
So when there are issues that you know that you're going to bend over so much that at the end of the day you lose yourself, you make it about how it's going to be beneficial to him and how it's going to be beneficial to the family goal. In all things, you have to choose your battles. You really have to choose your battles.
And if the person insists, you just have to like she said, let time do the job.
Yeah, time is going to do the job. Never forget who you are.
Never
forget who you are.
Never
forget who you are. And also leave room for growth. See, sometimes that thing your partner is saying, that thing he wants you to become, I would definitely say he saw me like this. There are instances when he saw me like, some men make this mistake a lot. You like pastures, and you go and see one of them and you want her to slim down. How is it doing? There are things you should compromise, and there are things you should not compromise. Do you get? Yes, there are things that are the core. When somebody is choosing a life partner, you have a list and you say this one is what I really want. I can't compromise it. And then you know the things that can be compromised.
You know the things that can be
So men make this mistake a lot. You see this career-driven woman and you want to end, and that is what attracted you to her. You saw she was strong and powerful. When I talk to men who want to get married, when I talk to them about that choice they want to make, I said, remember that for every positive trait you find in this woman, there could be an attached negative trait. You see this woman that she is vocal. She is vocal. She speaks her mind.
You love it.
You love it. You know that she can be in PTA meeting and you don't have fear of it. Remember that she will not keep bending over to everything you say.
Because that's not who she is.
Yes, that's not who she is. So when you're looking for that powerful woman who is talking, remember that the negative thing to it is that she will not answer yes. She will not answer yes in everything that you tell her. And then when you are choosing this career-driven woman, remember that she might not have your time in everything. Like, she will not always be at your beck and call.
So basically, we've already talked about communication. We've talked about
choosing your battles.
Choosing your battles.
We've talked about making the right choice in partner. We talked about compromise, having the family goal, and things about your partner in the present, like having it in view. You compromise.
So for me, the highlight is choosing your battles. Guys, tell me in the comment section, which of these suggestions that we've given, which of them do you like? Which of them have you used already? Which one do you feel like we've not talked about? Please let us know in the comment section. Let our viewers also hear about it. Let them know if they can pick a thing or two that they would use in their own lives and in their own situation.
Yes.
Thank you so much for gracing
my pleasure. I totally enjoyed
this. We should do this again.
We'll do it again, definitely.
So guys, please,
if you're yet to subscribe to this channel we are on, please do subscribe.
Go to our channel.
Please don't miss out subscribing in my own channel. It's very necessary. I enjoyed filming this video, really.
So we will be having another video on our own channel, so please do well to check it out.
Yeah.
Do well to check it out.
You love
subscribe. You will love it. We're talking about blue therapy in full, so please. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment. Just let your people know we are here for you, and also let us know if there are other things you want us to talk about. We are here for you. Take care. See you
in the next video. Bye.